Morning guys. I've just changed my bulbs on my 2018 Nissan Leaf. These are the bulbs that I used to change. I don't know if this is going to focus in or not. They are, I'll get out of the way and then you can actually see it focus in, but basically they're Philips Extreme Vision plus 130%. Ignore the 130%. All it means is that I said in the other video that the light pattern is uniform. I normally only replace them once in my old car a year, so they do a whole winter and then most of the next winter, and I'll probably replace them in the spring the following year. So those were the ones that I actually had in my old Rattler. I can say Rattler now because I'm driving a smoothie. And sorry, and these are the new ones that I've literally just received today. The bulbs that are actually in that packaging are the ones that was actually in the Leaf. They look pretty much exactly the same, but I say they're not. Them Philips ones are absolutely amazing. Never tried these before, so I don't know if they're going to be any good. I don't know if you can actually, if it's going to focus in on that label. So yeah, so that's the ones I'm going to be using in my Leaf, and they are Department of Transport compliant, so they're not going to blind anyone, hopefully. But yeah, so I'm going to see how they get on. But I say the standard bulbs were, I'd say, adequate at best. The main reason I changed my bulbs, guys, like I said to you, isn't just for safety. The reason I said safety is, I should have explained a bit more, is that I'll give you a case, an example with the Philips. I was coming back on the M25 from an airport, and this has happened on a few occasions because I've used the Philips bulbs for years. Just let me put these down for a sec. And I tell you how good them bulbs are in terms of uniformity. You can actually have one bulb out, doesn't matter if it's left or right, and the spread pattern from just one bulb is pretty much 75% as good as having two bulbs, like of the old bulbs. I mean, that's how good they are. So effectively, you're pretty much got equal from just one bulb from two bulbs of the standard fitment that are fitted in cars. And like I say, it doesn't matter what manufacturer I've had, they've all standard bulbs are adequate at best. And there's obviously a huge market for aftermarket bulbs, and as you probably see on YouTube, like I've done years and years ago, before there was YouTube, it was like written reviews online. And I say they're absolutely worth their weight in gold. And I say that's the main reason I have them, because if I lose one bulb, and you're on the motorway, it's very dangerous to pull over, especially on a hard shoulder, and obviously change a bulb. So at least you can carry on driving with, say, one bulb. And the last time it actually happened to me, I think it was last November in my old vehicle. I was coming back from Gatwick on the M25, and I didn't even realise I'd actually lost a bulb until I actually went into a very, very dark, unlit country road. And then it's still good enough. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than losing one of the bulbs on one of the adequate bulbs. I mean, it'd be so dim, it'd be kind of undrivable. And so that's the main reason I changed my bulbs to aftermarket bulbs. Your mileage may vary. You may not do a lot of early starts, especially in the domestic market, unless you're taking the Leaf to work and you start very early, which is a possibility. But other than that, that's about it regarding the bulbs. As far as they actually went into the vehicle, they were fine. The caps just literally turn counterclockwise, I believe. I might be wrong, but they just turn very, very easily, as they should do, because the car's just been built a few months ago, so they're not going to have all like gunk and dirt in them. What I would suggest, if you're ever worried about the fitting on a lot of these headlamp bulbs, what I used to do, and I've done in my car, and I forgot to do it on this time because it's peeing down with rain. Just ironically, I went to do it, I got the bulbs out, the sockets out, and it come down with rain, but it weren't a major problem. But what I tend to do is actually use a very, very light silicone spray into a tissue and literally go around the seal and then put them back in again, so then they'll come out very, very easy next time. Just saying, a little tip that I've learned over the years with bulb replacements, because then caps can get quite tight over the period of time. So yeah, so as far as the bulbs actually going into the H11 socket, I had a bit of a faff because I've never had H11s. I normally have H7s, which literally have like a spring load thing that actually bends over like the back of the bulb, and then obviously you release that spring and then turn them and bring them out and then replace them. These ones, the actual back of the H11, so basically where the bulb is like that with the plastic sockets, imagine, sorry, this part down is the bottom of the bulb, and it goes up into the socket. Where it goes into the plastic socket, you literally press down at the other end quite firmly and then just literally slide them out. I've never done them before. I did actually try and have a look on YouTube, but they weren't very descriptive, and I think there was different kinds of bulbs that they was trying to change. I don't know, but anyway, I worked it out. Very, very simple. But what I must say is that I mean, the size of my hands, I had ample space to get access to those bulbs, and they're at the furthermost point of the wings, so the outside edges of the vehicle, whereas the other bulbs are actually in closest to say the inverter, and it's more area there. So if I can get my hands on the outside, I mean, they're quite big hands, so you could probably be able to get your hands in there and change them relatively easy if you're going to change the bulbs. I will actually do a review of these bulbs in the morning, so I won't upload this video this afternoon. I'll wait until I've actually tested them and see what they're like. Hopefully they're a lot better. I'll soon notice, because as I say, the old bulbs, the way to describe it is they were semi-uniform, but it looked like there was two like lines coming off like off centre onto the road, like hot spots. Not very good. And I say, it's nothing against Nissan. Every manufacturer fits standard bulbs. They're probably just done for cheapness. You think the amount of thousands or hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of vehicles they produce, it'd work out a fortune. I mean, the standard H11 and H7 bulbs are probably like £4.50 each, the ones that they put in. These things, I mean, like I say, these Philips Extreme Visions were about £30. You can get them on offer sometimes, but sadly, as you can see, it's a H7. You can't get H7 for the Leaf, so you're limited on a bit of a choice, which is a bit of a downer, because I really, really like these bulbs. One other thing to remember as well is that these have projector style headlamps, so they've got like a lens, and my old Rattler is exactly the same, so they should be sorry, the new ones, sorry, these ones should actually be just as good. Anyway, I'll report back in the morning and then add that onto the end of this video, and we'll see how we go. Hi guys, just as an update to me installing new bulbs in my Leaf yesterday, they're a marked improvement over the bulbs that actually come with the vehicle. I would say they're equal to my Philips Extremes. Truth be told, I can't pretty much separate them, so the added cost is probably to do with the longevity of the bulb. I don't know, truth be told. Obviously, when I run them between now, next winter and then through, although I'll be honest with you, I am actually thinking about changing, if depending on cost of course, over to full LED headlamps once the full production line is up and running regarding the other trim levels and everyone's got their cars. So I'm talking like tail end of summer. There'll be no rush to get this done, obviously, because obviously we've got the summer months coming up, so it's not going to be a priority to get it done or have it done. But I would actually like to see the costings involved. They're actually replacing the current headlamps, like the actual headlamp units, with full LED. I don't know if I can use my existing clusters and change them that way. I don't want to go down the aftermarket route. I actually want them fully DOT compliant, because obviously we have to go for a council license plate, as you see on my licensing day, and they're very thorough, and I want it to be all above board. So they've either got to be at the Tecna equivalent, or I don't know anything else if it would work any other way. But anyway, I'd rather stick with the original parts, primarily, so then there won't be any warranty issues, because they could turn around and say, oh, if it's an aftermarket part and it ain't Nissan, blah blah blah. So yeah, I'll go down that route. But so I will actually get full costings once the vehicles become available. I might actually give there's probably no point even ringing Nissan now, because as I say, they probably haven't even got the parts prices in, because the cars haven't hit the road yet. But I will look into that, and if it isn't too drastically expensive, and and obviously having them fitted as well, I'll definitely consider having those done. I just think all BEVs, like I say, should actually have a full LED. Even these rear light clusters that are like the stop and tail are LED, but the indicator and the reversing bulbs are still traditional incandescent, which is like, I don't understand the logic of that personally. I mean, I know it all comes off the 12-volt battery rather than the main battery, but it's like these vehicles are supposed to be like really, and I know that it's obviously cost cutting and they're trying to hold the prices down, which does make a lot of sense. And how often do you actually change rear reversing bulbs or indicator bulbs? It's a rarity, really. I mean, my old vehicle, that was 3 years old, and I never changed the reversing bulb or the indicator bulb in it, so I understand where they're coming from. They last a long time. But I say I will look into those LED headlamps. That's about it for now, guys.